was the attendant from 1965 to 1994. Myself and all of my brothers, older brothers, have spent time on Orfordness. Particularly myself, I spent a lot of Sundays on Orfordness with my father and learnt to drive over there. Sent my Action Man with its parachute off the top of the lighthouse on a number of occasions. We were able to go fishing over there, so to see it coming down now is a sad day for me.
I mean, it's part of your growing up, wasn't it?
It is, yeah. I mean, I spent a lot of time there walking on the beach. I mean, my dad was an avid beachcomber and found a lot of amber on the beach. I'd walk along the beach with him. I'd never seem to be able to find the amber. He always did. But yeah, it was a blessed childhood, is what I've already said to other people about this, that I had the privilege to go over there in the peace and the quiet, to go up the lighthouse and spend time there. It's such a shame that through the coastal erosion that it's finally going to have to be dismantled after 228 years, which is an incredible length of time.
Did he have to stay over there or visit? How did it work?
He didn't. He used to do a visit once a week, generally on a Sunday, where he'd go up and just run a generator, because obviously the lighthouse had a mains power supply, and then if that failed, it would go over onto the generator, and then if the generator failed, it would go over onto batteries. So we'd go over and run the generator on a Sunday, do any cleaning that he needed to do, because obviously the glass prisms in the lens would need to be cleaned, change any lamps, and he was avid about calling them lamps rather than bulbs. He always used to say, bulbs you plant in the garden. And if the diesel needed to be topped up in the generator, he would do that. So that was a Sunday morning exercise for him. And obviously if there were any issues during the week, then Trinity House would call him out and he would go over and deal with any issues that arose.
I mean, it's such a focal point, isn't it? It's a real beacon of Orford.
It is, yeah. I mean, it's obviously something that everybody in Orford has grown up, and anyone who visits can see it from the quay. And it does stand out as a beacon, and it'll be such a shame to see that it's gone from that skyline.
I know that because you live in Ireland these days, you've set up your own little website just to sort of give you links back to Orford as well. And you were hoping to come back and bring your children to see the lighthouse?
Yeah, so I was hoping to bring over my daughter, who's going to be 19 in August now, and my son, who's 17, to see the lighthouse. But unfortunately, over the years, I mean, the last time I was back was 2007. They did get to see the lighthouse from the quay at that point in time, but we never actually got over to the nest to visit the lighthouse. So it's a shame that they haven't been able to see it. I have a little dark model of the lighthouse at home here. I have one of the lamps from the main light. So they do get to see the paraphernalia from the lighthouse, let's put it that way.
And it is nice that it isn't going to be taken by the sea, that they are taking it down and hopefully going to do something positive to remember it by.
Yes, hopefully there'll be some sort of tribute to it, at least, that people can still visit and see some of the artefacts from the lighthouse. And I'd personally like to say a big thanks to Nicholas Gold for taking on the task, and the Orfordness Lighthouse Trust in trying to preserve it, and have preserved it for the amount of time that they have done so far. It's an incredible piece of work that they have done.
What do you think your dad would say? I know you lost him a while ago, didn't you?
Yeah, my father passed away in 1997. He was an attendant, as I said, from 1965 to 1994, and actually ran trips up to the lighthouse for the bicentenary in 1992, because it was built in 1792. But I'm sure, he would be as upset as the rest of the family are about its demise.
He was Charlie, wasn't he? So people will remember maybe going out to see the lighthouse with him.
Yes, I'm sure they would. I mean, he was actually 70 when he finally stood down as the attendant, and would have been in his late 60s, taking people on trips up and down the lighthouse. I think it was 3 times a week at the time during the bicentenary. So several people would have visited then. And that was all to raise money at the time for Somersham Ward, which is the cancer ward in Ipswich Hospital, where my mother passed away.
Thank you so much for joining me. And I mean, it is the end of an era in a way as well, but lovely to hear your memories.
No problem at all. Thank you.